What's up? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Mike and V Bodybuilding Show, episode 32, on location
at Metroflex Gym, our home gym. If you guys get a chance, come on down and check it out, man. We'll let you work out for free. How can you beat it?
Mention the Mike and V Bodybuilding Show. If you don't,
you got to pay $5.
But we have another special guest. They're all special, aren't they?
They are all special, but this one, he touches us right here.
He sure does. He's like your little brother.
He is like my little brother, isn't he? And to take a word from you, synonymous with Arizona bodybuilding,
right.
And really bodybuilding and men's physique in general.
Yeah, I mean, history-making competitor. He's an IFBB pro now. Another homegrown athlete, Matt Christianer, but it'll always be Matt Christianer to me. Without further ado, IFBB pro, Mike Christianer. What's up, bro?
Good seeing you, man.
See you, man.
Thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for. We had a hell of a workout today, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
So we just got done hitting some arms with Matt, and we went through a workout together. We all got to talk a little bit about bodybuilding, men's physique, what's going on with Matt. So without further ado, Matt, welcome to the show, bro.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much, man.
You're over
Finally made it back home.
Yeah. I know, back home. So, what did you think of this history-making show this last week?
Humongous, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
513 competitors.
Sold out shows Friday and Saturday night. You can't even buy a ticket.
Of course, Matt walks around. He's like a freaking icon.
I was able
the
to
guy's
get
like
in.
the Duke of Cool, man. He walks around and he's just got this style about him. Like everybody's like, fucking look at Matt, man. He's cool.
And you know what? I used to always say about Matt when I referred to him, not just a great physique, but the best hair in bodybuilding too.
Well, thank you.
I mean, oh my God.
We had to change it up now, but
Matt, I mean, you got a lot going on from interviewing people. You got photo shoots left and right.
Reality shows.
You have a reality show.
All kinds of stuff.
You've got 2 pro wins this year.
Yeah.
The Grand Prix. I want to talk about that because we were training. You told us you had that edema.
Yeah, I had edema from a massage I got, a foot massage. Yeah, right? But no, she busted me wide open down here, and I had edema, and I was in bed for 8 days, up until 6 days out.
And Mike gave you a foot massage?
Well, we didn't want to. Man, I'll never go back there, because it cost me like $5,000 in hospital bills.
Yeah.
But,
But you're in the hospital for 8 days.
Well, no, I was in the hospital for a day.
They were like, oh, 6 days out.
It was at home.
Yeah.
And basically spent a good portion of the 2 weeks before the show.
Yeah. I moved at 3 weeks out, and then I was in bed for 8 days, up until 6 days out.
Wow.
And needless to say, you won.
I won still, but
right.
yeah.
I mean, do you think possibly that maybe that attributed to your win because you were just shredded, or no?
I don't know. I mean, I've never let anything stop me.
Yeah.
And the last show that I did, I had the flu at 5 days out. And I was just like, oh, it's just going to leave me out. I just go with it.
Sure.
Stay positive, go
Sure.
with it. Because what else
That's
can you
one
do?
thing about Matt Christianer.
Nah.
He's always positive, gives back to the sport, and helps a lot of people. I mean, you're very inspirational. And, when I say history making, the very first guy to get his pro card in men's physique. And,
This man.
So, and you got that in Junior Nationals a couple years ago.
Yeah, 2011.
And it's just, your career is just skyrocketed, man. Let's talk about, because you and I competed against each other, you're
Right.
a hell of a bodybuilder.
Well, thank you.
And I remember after the USA's, you're like, I think I'm going to try this men's physique. It's coming out. And I said, Matt, you're crazy, dude. You need to keep going, get bigger.
Yeah,
You're like, I think I have a better shot. I'll be more marketable, get into men's physique, I'll get pro. And I was like, you're crazy. Actually, I'm the idiot. You're the guy that beat the pro.
He's the pro.
He's the pro. So
We're the amateurs.
how did you actually go to, from training all those years, bodybuilding, and then making that decision, okay, I'm just going to go men's physique? That was a big decision.
It was a big decision, but I based it off of the USA's and how realistic it was going to be for me to turn pro and what it was going to take me and how long it was going to take me to go there. And I felt that with men's physique, it fit my personality a little bit better.
Right.
Anyways, though I do miss, a lot of the posing of bodybuilding and stuff like
As
that.
we saw tonight.
Well,
Right.
Matt, let me touch on
Massive.
something just real quick for guys that are coming up in bodybuilding now. Matt just said one thing that sticks with me. When he got to the USA's, it was a big eye-opener.
Oh,
and
yeah.
wouldn't you say, bro, for any guys that are upcoming that are in bodybuilding or even in men's physique, when you step to that next level, make sure you're ready. And if you think you're ready, go check it out. Just step backstage for a second. We all three can attest.
Yeah.
It's the best of the best. So just do your homework before you go out there and spend the time and the energy to be on that kind of level.
I mean, when everyone walks around their gym, right, you're the man, right?
Right.
Oh, you look so good. But then when you get there and you're 5'8", and you against guys that are 5'3" or 5'4" in your class,
Scott Turner.
I look skinny.
You know?
I mean, for me, I could walk in the gym and look jacked, but you stay next to a guy that's at that level, I look skinny. I'm like, holy crap.
What would you say to somebody coming up, even in men's physique at this point? Because let's face it, men's physique is exploding.
Right.
It's huge. What would you say or recommend to somebody that's, in their early times, early 20s, something in that manner, coming up at this level, wanting to go touch on that national stage? What would you recommend to them?
I mean, they have to realize it's gonna take time. Whether it's men's physique or bodybuilding, everyone's so impatient.
Right.
I feel like these younger guys are very impatient. It's like, oh, I want it now. How long have you been lifting? A year.
Yeah.
Okay, I was already 13 years in lifting before I got my pro card.
Right.
I built the density.
Right.
It was there. And I think that's the difference.
Well, and we talked about that a little bit working out today, about the mystique of the IFBB Pro Card. I mean, we've talked about it a few times on our episodes, and thank God Matt is still true in his heart. He understands. He understands what the IFBB card truly means, and like you were saying, I mean, they're giving them away left and right nowadays, and we don't want to get into anything that's going to knock on any division at all.
Right.
But there's still that mystique has kind of gone away. I mean, what do you...
I can see, like I said, I can see from a bodybuilder standpoint. I mean, you guys you might put in 15 years, 20 years,
Still
some
not
of these
get
guys,
it.
and still not get it. And then of course, you have some men's physique guys that go in and they get it right away.
Right.
And that's, unfortunately, that's just how it is now.
Sure.
So, but I see both sides to it,
Sure. Sure.
Definitely coming from the bodybuilding background and knowing that if that's how I wanted to go, I probably wouldn't have it by now.
Right.
I mean, I would have had
Right.
to move up, keep moving up weight classes, because that's what they told me. You look
Right.
great, but you need to
Gotta
be a
get
light heavy,
better.
you need to be a heavy.
Right. Matt's probably one of the biggest names, or the biggest names in men's physique. And, he has an expectation. People expect Matt to look a certain way all the time. How is that? I mean, because you're photoshopped
Really, dude.
all the
I
time.
mean, every time I see you, you're ripped.
Yeah, the
And I'm
last
like,
three, maybe 4 years, you've been peeled down.
Yeah,
and,
it's-
how is that? Hard?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been hard, and I think people, with me, it puts I'm getting to the point where it's like, okay, there's some pressure here, because
Sure.
everyone just expects me to be under 6% all the time, and I've been that way, like you said, for 4 or 5 years, and yeah, it comes with a price, man. I'm still got to do the cardio, and I'm still doing, doubles. And
Dude did 2 workouts today.
I already did put in 2 today, so no doubt,
It's
man.
tough. It's
It's
tough.
it's tough. Like, I think, like I said, that people take it for granted when they see you like that all the time. It's hard to stay like that. I mean, it's...
And you have, obviously, Matt has his career. I mean, he's a bodybuilder first. He's a competitor. He's also has his reality show, which we'll talk about in a minute. But, how do you fit in all the... You do a lot of personal
On
training.
top of all that online stuff
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
got going
personal
on. I
training,
mean, what's going on with
posing
Matt
for-
right now?
Yeah.
So I dialed back the personal training because, I mean, I moved to West Hollywood because I reached a point where it's my time. I
Right.
want to focus on what I want to do.
for
And,
you.
training people was great. It was great. It was a great experience, and I'll probably go back to it in the future. But it just became so many people, and I felt all my energy was going away to these other people.
The
And
best way to get out of shape is to become a personal trainer.
Right.
I felt like I was becoming more of a therapist.
Yeah.
So that's where I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go after my dreams, because I don't want to look back and have any regrets. I'm gonna go, and if I fail, I fail. But I'm gonna go, and that's what happened.
And I love that, dude. I love that you, because you're from Arizona. If you're not, don't know Matt or you don't know his name, as VJ would say, you must be under a rock. But I mean, you came from Arizona, correct? And then you moved out to California. I remember when you said, "Hey, I'm moving to California."
Yeah.
Dude, I think that it was a hell of a move, and I think that it takes a lot of
Courage.
balls to
Yeah.
do that.
A lot of
Because you
courage, yeah.
gave up your security blanket here to go there.
Right.
And dude,
And
you're sleeping on the floor right
Yeah,
now,
it's-
dude.
it's tough
This
out
guy's
there.
giving up stuff to make sure
Yeah,
that
I
where
mean-
you want to be and follow your dreams, and I commend you for that, dude.
Well, the cool thing is during the workout, he's saying about how hard it is, the 2-a-day workouts, this and that. He's like, but you know what? What I realize is that I'm getting paid for this.
And he's doing what he loves,
so
man.
I mean,
That
you're doing
is-
what you love. He's following a dream, and he's getting paid. So I mean, that's got to kind of motivate you.
I mean,
to get that second workout in. Like, I'm getting
exactly.
paid for this.
I remember being 18, 19 and saying, I just want to work out and get paid, right?
Right.
Then we all have that mindset, I just want to work out and get paid. And finally I'm to that point where I'm like, man, this is really happening.
Yeah.
Like, after all these years, it's finally coming.
Dude, I'm
you
so
know?
fucking proud of you, man. Jesus Christ. What's up with the reality show?
So we just did some more filming last week in LA, Muscle Beach, of course. We've got a cast of 12. We're gonna narrow it down probably to 8, though, and it's just basically following the lives of the 8 of us that are out in Hollywood trying to make it. Whether it's in the fitness side, it's definitely got a fitness backdrop, but
Right.
it is not just a fitness show.
Sure.
So it's about the struggle. It's about okay, well, what you see on social media, what you see these people to be, and then
what reality
is.
And then
it's completely different.
And it really is a reality show. So when you watch the show, when you see Matt Christianer,
I'm not even a tripod.
I know. It's actually, that is you. I mean, that is the day in the life of what you go through and living the dream.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's tough out there. $2,000 there is not $2,000 here.
Right.
So, all right, like I said, it's like when I gotta boil my water to wash my dishes. It's like I'm hunting every day, you know.
Yeah.
But that's
Did you hear me, guys? He just said he has to boil his water to have hot water.
Yeah,
Again, bro, I think that it's so stand up that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get you where you want to be. And again, it just talks about your character.
Well, I just didn't. I never wanted to look back and have regret in my life. That's one thing I never wanted to do is go, oh, you know, when I was that age, I was so close to moving, and I wonder what would have happened if I did.
Right.
Nah, I want to go, and I'm going to give it everything I got. And if I fail, I fail. But I tell you what, moving out there has made me so much tougher. And it's, you know, a lot of people around me were so afraid that I was going to change. You know, be careful.
Change it all.
Be careful when you go out there.
He's still mad.
Yeah, it reinforced the
He's
morals.
still larger than life.
It reinforced the morals that my parents had instilled in me to go, okay, well, you know, there's 18-year-old kids driving $300,000 cars, and then there's, you know, maybe someone that's homeless right next to where I live, and everything. It just really puts things that really brings you down and grounds you. Like, okay,
That's something I always liked about Matt is, you know, seeing him at the shows, his family and the support system. He's got all of his family and friends have the T-shirt on. It's really awesome. I mean, at the USA's, it was like Matt Christianer USA's. I mean, you had everybody out there.
The support from my family has been unbelievable, and they. You know, when I first got into it, they were kind of like, well, yeah, you want to be a fitness model? What? You know, do this, do that. And then when I won that first show, right, the middleweights, that's when my dad was like, you know what, you can do this. You know, we got your back, you know, and that's where I lit up. Because once you have the support of everyone around you, it makes it so much easier. Yeah, because you're not double guessing yourself. You're not going, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing it. Nah, just do it, right?
So two questions. I got a lot of questions. It's an interview, right? But I have two questions. Getting your pro card, that winning moment, and winning your first pro show, what meant more to you?
Getting the pro card.
I mean, it was like,
yeah, I mean, I just felt like this weight come off me. Like, I literally could probably see it on stage. Like,
I saw it.
Right. It's like,
I think you emailed it to me a few times.
Yeah. Watch this. No, but it was just, yeah, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, that was a tough show, too. I flew there by myself, no trainer, no coach, no nothing. I did all by myself, and I won all by myself. And of course, it was kind of no one to celebrate with. Like, I won, and I was in Charleston, and I went to Burger King and ate by myself, and all that kind of stuff. But
that's kind of sad. I kind of,
you know,
like, I want to give you that hug. Man, I'm sorry.
No, but you know, and I remember going to that show and being under so much stress, you know, and I thought, man, and I went backstage and I started doing what I shouldn't have, and I would pick like, oh, my chest isn't that good, but this guy's chest is really good, and my calves aren't that good, and I started messing with my own head, and then I'll never forget, right before I went out, no one knew what to do still, because it was so new. And the expediter, I asked him an hour ahead of time, I said, what are we doing? He said, we'll tell you, I'll find out. Okay, I'm the first one out, of course, right? And I go, okay, we're getting ready to go. What do I do? What do I need? He goes, man, I'm really sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Just go. Set the bar. And for a second, I freaked out, and then this confidence just came over me. And I thought, I can do this. And I went out there, and that was it.
Well, you know, confidence shows on stage, and Matt exudes it for sure. I remember competing against Matt in 2009 at the Western Regional, and he won his class. I won my class. He's a middleweight, and I'm a light heavyweight. And if you've ever been in an overall, you wait backstage for the other classes to end. And I come up behind Matt, and you know, Matt looks to see who won the class, and you know, he's competitive. You know, he had kind of a chip on his shoulder. You did. But I said, Matt, hey, these guys, I said, between you and me, man, these guys aren't good. Yes. And Matt just lit up, and ever since we've been friends ever since.
Yeah,
I'm like, really?
Because I didn't believe him. I was like, I'm so light. There's no way.
I'm like,
dude, no,
these guys aren't gonna beat it. And you know, we talked to the judges after, and it really was. It was between you and me. So.
Well, let me ask you this: taking it back to, there's generally something that got us into the muscle mystique, you know, got us involved in this. What is it, or who was it that got you wanting to lift weights and create that muscle look?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all get in it for different reasons, and then we love it, and it kind of changes throughout time, right? So for me, I moved from Ohio to Arizona when I was 15. I was 93 pounds, and I got bullied bad. I got my tire slashed. I got hit from behind on 5 different occasions. So I was like, man, I got to do something about this.
Right.
You know, so that's when I started lifting. And luckily for me, my neighbor was jacked. I mean, I remember seeing him one time. I was like, oh my gosh. He's about 175, my height, just shredded.
Right.
And he took me under his wing, got me a job at the gym when I was 15, so I was already working at the gym. He hooked me up with like, okay, this is how you need to eat. And that's the biggest thing, right, that you miss usually starting.
Right.
So at 16, when I was a sophomore, I already had a cooler with me in between classes.
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I was that guy already with the gallon already. So that's kind of what got me. That's who got me into it. That's why I got into it. And then throughout time, I just fell in love with it.
Right.
And it was a release for me. It was like, man, I'm good at this, and
Right.
I can go in.
Who was it like growing up? Like for me, it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who was the guy like Rocky was one of those people that inspired me.
Right.
Who was it that really
For
struck
me,
you?
it was Frank Zane. I mean, physique-wise, that I studied everything. I just thought because we all look at people that have similar physiques.
Absolutely.
That we
gravitate to
because
that.
I'm not going to look at no disrespect to J. Cole or anything like that. He's done amazing, but I can't look at that physique and relate to that
Sure.
because it's just not me.
Right.
Now Frank Zane, I can relate to that physique.
I know. I've seen you do the vacuum. I mean, people don't even do that.
But that's who I looked up to. Was physique-wise, and they called him the chemist because he tried everything. He wrote everything down. He tried this, he tried that, and that's where I did that for years until I became instinctive. What I call instinctive training. So
what's I know being a competitive bodybuilder, being successful in what you do.
Competitive men's physique.
Men's physique.
Let's get that straight.
Yes,
Come on,
sorry,
it's men's
sorry.
physique.
What is the what's the 5-year plan for you?
The 5-year plan, man, a 5-year plan. I'm gonna stay out in Hollywood and continue to do what I've been doing.
Okay.
Just wrap up this reality show, keep going with the modeling. I mean, basically, but at this point, I really want to try to get to the generation below me. That's kind of my next goal with the bullying, with morals, with ethics, with inside this industry and out.
And then that's the thing, like training with Matt and I've never trained with you before, and I've actually never had this much interaction with you before. And so I don't know Matt on that level, and having this time with him right now, you see that the guy has you're genuine, and I get that feeling from you, dude, and you're giving back, bro.
Yeah.
And then you said that. You talked about that in when we were training about the generation and switching that mindset, and it's kind of like what, V and I and Josh and all these guys that are grouping up here in Arizona, that's what we're trying to create.
Right.
It's a togetherness. I'll compete against you, but we can be buddies all the way. But when we get on stage, I'm gonna take your head off. You know what I mean? And that's all. When we walk off stage, let's shake hands and move on. I love it, dude. I love that you're bringing that to that, and I love the amount of energy, dude. It's been a big eye opener for me about who you are as a
Right,
man.
and that's what I mean. I hope that in the industry, a lot more people can come together because what I'm seeing is so many different people. We're all trying to do the same thing.
Right.
Why fight amongst each other? It's supposed to be about helping people, right?
Correct.
Health and wellness, right? You know what I mean? And working together, and that's what I would like to see more of. And it's been so nice being back home because I'm seeing that a little bit more with the studios and some of the people just being like, okay, we're all here in this together.
Right.
We should be helping one another, right?
Absolutely.
I've been on this ride. I mean, riding the wave with Christianer, Matt Christianer. Just say it.
Hey, man.
Just say Matt, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, just I remember talking about your goals, and that's why I asked you your 5-year plan because the reality show is something that you talked about before there was even a reality show. And then you have a product line that we can't talk about that might happen. You have a lot of exciting things. I always thought maybe if the reality show did happen, that you would probably get into acting. I mean, maybe you'd be the next action star.
You know what, man?
I mean, is that kind of in the back of your mind still? 'Cause we talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, I moved out to Hollywood, and that was one of my goals to get into. Unfortunately, when I'm living there, it's a little bit different too than what I thought. So I thought, I've sacrificed a lot in my life, and I have no problem doing that to get to where I want to go. But my sacrifice as opposed to Hollywood sacrifice is two completely different things. So I don't really want anything to do with it, to be honest with you.
And I think that's pretty awesome
Because
I think your integrity and all those things that you're holding on to, bro, and you hold those close to you, and that you value that.
Well,
and that's what a lot of people can't say, and that's probably what people were warning you about. Don't change when you go out there.
Right.
But how good is it to be home?
Oh man, I feel so good. I get to go see my parents and my sisters and everyone up north here next week. So I'm really looking
And not
forward
to
that.
mention, bro, you get overwhelmed with attention, dude. Which
Oh,
he
man,
doesn't
it's
like
been-
that.
He gets attention everywhere.
Well,
It's like
dude,
international.
like the hometown guy.
I mean, coming back, yeah,
Not Christian.
It's been pretty crazy because I've hit up probably 8 different gyms since I've been here, and it's kind of weird where people start to recognize you, especially with wearing all the pro subs gear. People are like, oh, and it's, are you Matt? It's like, dude, it's just me. It's just Matt. Like, I'm nothing special. Like, come on,
Well, what's next, bro? What's next as far as competition stuff in the IFBB?
So I'm gonna start next spring. I'll hit at least 5 shows next year.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so, are you going to apply for the Arnold? Are they doing that?
Yeah, actually, I'm writing my letter as we speak. So, yep, I'm gonna get
I'll
that
see you on
in.
the Olympia stage again.
Oh, you know it.
That's good. What else?
What else?
Well, let's talk about Pro Subs, man. We're repping them today. Pro Subs,
Yep.
Matt's new sponsor.
Yeah, we had that high, dude.
We
We
messed
got
up
that
all
yeah,
the
we did
high
take the
stuff.
high,
We all-
yeah.
Look at us all. We're all.
That's why we're all jacked up. No, man, I am so blessed to be with them.
Well, how did that all happen? How did that come to fruition?
I had a buddy that reached out to Brian, and they found out I didn't have a sponsor, and man, we met. We had a good meeting at the Olympia, and I don't base decisions off of anything else, but when I sit down with people, the energy that I get from them, and the energy that I got from TJ and Brian, I was like, man, I love you guys already. I feel
Energy's all the
like family
time.
already, man. So that's who I decided to go with, and I've been so happy with them, man. They are amazing, and their stuff is strong. That high.
Hey, Pro Subs, he's repping you out, and I don't know, Mike and V repping you out too.
And we didn't have someone sponsor for our show. God, I had so many questions. I was like, I just drew a blank right here. What other questions were we going to ask Matt?
Well, I think the other thing that we talked about is, a couple things like nutrition and things
That's
of
what I
that
want to
nature.
ask. Okay, yeah, the percentage that you put on nutrition versus training. Like, for myself, I think it's 90% nutrition. I mean, what kind of weight
Right.
do you put on that?
I mean, of course, I don't think it's one or the other. I think it's 100% nutrition and it's 100% training.
Thank you, because I think that you're correct. I think that you have to put it all in on all phases.
Right.
Otherwise, the other guy is.
Yeah,
think
I got to weigh in on that because I've been 90, 80% nutrition, and every time an IFBB pro comes on the show and I ask that question, they have that same answer. I don't know. I think maybe IFBB pro, maybe they know what they're talking about.
I know for me, the biggest thing is sleep, though, man. If I don't get 8 hours of sleep, I can't,
Right.
That's the thing for me. That's my major thing.
Well, the crazy thing that we learned about Matt today, and he's got big arms, big shoulders, big chest, but you're not training them because you're trying to grow your calves. You want to be more symmetrical.
Right.
And that's my segue into what might be happening after nationals with men's physique.
Well, and that's funny because I was just going to say, and I wanted to get your intake on, coming from a bodybuilder standpoint, which we only think the bodybuilder standpoint, the whole deal with, moving the shorts up and showing
Right.
that whole body. Because, dude, we seen the guy's legs. This dude has legs, man. I want to see, as a bodybuilder and a fan, I would be more apt to
He's got bananas.
watch more of that. Watch more of that men's physique and be more involved in that. If I can see that, I want
Right.
to see that. And what do you think, man?
I think
What's
it's important.
I mean, personally, I would love it. I think a lot of the pros would like it.
Do you think that it would change placings in contests?
Probably.
I don't see how it couldn't
right.
because I mean there's got to be guys that have great upper bodies but
Completely
no legs.
unbalanced.
There's a reason.
I mean, at the-
when I was checking people in at the show this last weekend, and they're big guys. I'm like, dude, why aren't you doing the bodybuilding? Man, you're huge.
Right,
I'm like,
right.
I got no legs.
Right.
But I think it would definitely change places.
I think it would.
Probably would improve yours even better.
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of, we have to go with what they say. So
Right.
I'm happy
Right.
either way. Just that I have a division that I turn pro
Sure.
that I can compete in. So that's amazing. But for me personally, yeah, I mean, I broke my femur and my hip, and I still train my legs. So for me, it's like it means a lot to me that I can do that. So I'd love to show them what.
Right.
Yeah, take more ibuprofen, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Cut me up when I bleed ibuprofen.
And, it doesn't matter. I mean, you think of men's physique, their model physiques, but I mean the guy's got grit. I mean, we're talking about his training, and he even showed us. He gave us a few pointers. Pretty good.
The trap.
Yeah, man.
exercise,
I knew you guys would like
So
that.
that was awesome.
man.
And I've seen some of your training videos, man, with obviously with your delts and using the barbell.
Oh yeah,
That's
oh yeah,
pretty sick.
yeah. I got a spread right now, Muscle and Fitness. Go check it out, December issue. Whole shoulder workout, and of course that's one of my favorite things I always do is the barbell, man, because you're bringing a lot of stabilizers on the sides, your obliques and all that, and then of course you're firing more because it's harder to balance 3 feet away than it is a foot. So
Sure. Is there anybody, Matt, that you want to give a shout out to, a thanks to?
Yeah, I like, of course, Pro Subs. Thank you so much. I'd like to shout out Six Pack Bags. Man, you guys are amazing. Travel fit. Don't forget, right? I'd also like to thank Fightin' USA. My friends, my family, and of course all my fans out there that have been supporting me. It's been amazing, so thank you so much.
And how, Matt, if somebody wanted to drop a line to you or throw something out to you or shout out, how can they get a hold of you?
Okay. Yeah, so at Matt Christianer for Instagram, IFBB Pro Matt Christianer for Facebook. You can check out my website, mattchristianer.com, and of course my email, matt@mattchristianer.com.
Dude, this
That was a mouthful,
up, guys.
Yeah, right?
IFBB Pro Matt Christianer. I always call him Matt Christianer to me. Dude, thank you for coming on the show, man.
Thank you, bro.
Thank
Thank you for the workout. And,
Thank you.
and I've got to say again, Matt, before he takes off, this guy right here he's a stand-up dude, man. I didn't know a whole lot about you, Matt, but I'm a big guy on energies and how that feeds off. And the workout, the interview, everything was awesome.
Yeah.
And I really like it, man. And if there's anything that we can do to help you,
Absolutely.
we're here for you, bro.
Well, thank you guys so much.
But
man.
we do
My
have-
Arizona!
Now,
Arizona guys!
Listen, Matt, we do have one
request.
request. And,
Yeah,
you know,
if you don't mind.
after a show, we always like to see a show. And the fact is, you're in shape, dude.
And you can put on a show.
I either want to see this or I want to see this for them.
Oh, well, let's just do both then, right?
Let's see it. That's legs, baby. Look at that, dude.
Look at that outside part.
You feel the abs?
Matt Christianer, guys.
Matt
The dude
Christianer.
walks around like this on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
That is what a men's physique pro is supposed to look like.
That's right. IFBB Pro Matt Christianer, Mike Best, Vincent VJ Hils on the Mike and V Bodybuilding Show. Thanks a lot.
We're out.
Thank you.